is it manifestation the only thing? And I want you to answer this question because you are in the world where everybody gets attracted by that word, manifestation. Is it everything that we have to do? Just put it out there and say, yes, universe, 10K month. You are listening to the Happy and Wealthy Bilingual Podcast, a place where we combine personal finance with powerful lessons to expand your money mindset so you can embody the wealthiest and happiest version of yourself. I'm your host, Alejandra Rojas, finance professional and money mindset expert, and here's your weekly episode to start shifting your reality. But before we dive into today's episode, do you know most of new entrepreneurs never become profitable because their money blocks literally sabotage their success? I know, but this doesn't have to be you. I've created a unique one-on-one money block diagnosis to turn your block into a strength. And this session is only available for people listening to this podcast. And spots are very limited. So book yours now at alejandrar.com/exclusive.
Alejandra, first let me tell you, I absolutely love your energy. Like, wow, like energy that's really priceless, because I feel like through our energy, we manifest everything, right? Like how we are feeling, it's going to really show in what we're attracting in our life. So I just love that you have this energy of excitement, passion, openness, and like the willingness to learn. I feel like so often we get like so stuck in how things should look like, and then we just micromanage the universe. Been there, done that, tried it, doesn't work. Guys, don't do that. Don't micromanage the universe. I was just having conversation right now with a client. She was like, but how do you release the control? I'm like, well, by not controlling. Like you get to remember that you're not freaking out if you can like wake up in the morning and if there is going to be enough fresh air or enough water for you to drink. Most of us where we live, at least, right? Like I just been in Puerto Rico and they literally don't have drinkable water, which is like, like I'm not talking about that. I know there are cases, but for many of us, if you're listening to this podcast, usually you don't freak out if there is a fresh air, fresh water. If the sun will come out or down, I'm like, you don't have to micromanage. So I know I'm going on the other like direction, but so who am I? I'm an alignment coach for women. I love working with women because I love seeing them really like lit up and magnetizing their desires to have a clear vision of who they are and where they want to be, and really align with their purpose, because I feel like that's why we came here. I use many different modalities like NLP, breathwork, Qigong, Reiki, like there's so many of them. I'm studying Kundalini activation process right now, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I still don't understand it. I don't know if I ever will. And maybe it's some of the things that you just don't understand that you just practice and just channel.
Correct.
And then, I have a business major and, like my whole life, I did all the right quote unquote things and it never felt right, like went to the school, get my bachelor's, get my master's, traveled the world, got married, and just doing all the right things. And I always felt like empty inside. And there was this like guilt and shame because people look at me and I used to be a fitness competitor, married to a handsome guy who was also like bodybuilder. And so people look at us and like, oh, you have such a perfect life. And that was just like a facade, like behind the closed door. My life was not like that. I was struggling with depression, anxiety, 2 decades of eating disorder, attempt of suicide, and just like really feeling like I don't belong. So I truly believe that my mission here is to be the one that I needed on my journey. So people ask me like, why you're a coach? I'm like, I didn't chosen that. Like it chose me. Like if I would believe in accidents, I would say like by accident, but I don't believe in accidents. I truly believe that I was put in this world and went through everything that I went in my life, through like being physically and mentally abused, through toxic relationships and crazy relationships. and like really undervaluing myself, not seeing myself as worthy and deserving, go through all of that. So I can now show women that that's just the stories. That's not their truth. So that's why I'm like so lit up. And that's why I truly believe that you're meant to be abundantly paid to be. I truly believe in abundance, believe in manifestations. I live by that, but it hasn't been always this way. Like you heard on my story, like it took me to rewrite those stories and that mind that was conditioned to limitations,
Right.
to be where I am today. Receive the signs from the universe. Like, for example, 6 years ago, I was fired from my corporate job, and they say that I don't know how to manage people, that I'm not people person, that I don't know how to communicate effectively. And they told me like I'm too hard and too aggressive. And I'm like, but all I want is to be loved and loved. Like, how can they see me as this witch if all I want is love? I want to be recognized, right? So that was like the first like huge slap in the face, because I was working in that company for 5 years and they were literally like my family, like very close to me. And when they fire me, I'm like, so if people who are close to me and work with me every day see me like this, well, what am I doing to be sending it out there? So that time I devoted into like learning from people that I admire, like Louise Hay, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins, and all these things and people, because I felt like I'm missing something. I was trying to control every single outcome. So that moment, I had to release the control, because I realized physically and emotionally, I was exhausted. Right. I was exhausted. And back then also I found Gabby Bernstein and read the book, The Universe Has Your Back. So I feel like by looking at people who kind of live the life that I wanted, or saying the things that I resonated with, I'm like, okay, there is a hope. There is a hope that the life doesn't have to be hard. There is a hope that I don't have to suffer. So that's how it started for me, to be like brokenhearted and disappointed, into maybe I don't have to control everything, because I was treating that company like it's my company. I was micromanaging I had 3 assistants under me. I was officer of the manager of the office, office manager. And I was micromanaging everything, and I was doing everything because I was thinking that nobody can do it as good as me, and nobody cares as much as me. And I had to start like releasing that control. And also back then I was listening, and like, this is also what they recommended to me at the work before I got fired, was Joel Osteen. So even though I wasn't raised in religion, what he was saying was so deeply resonating. And I remember he was talking back then about like crown yourself. Like, you have to crown yourself. Nobody will do that for you. Like, walk with your crown. And like so many of those things. So I feel like you gotta really take an honest look at your life and see the results that I'm getting. Does it feel good to me? Does it feel fulfilling? Does it feel like life-giving, right? If not, okay, if this result doesn't feel good to me, what did I do to get to this result? It's like, what was the action that got me here? And what was I thinking? And what was I feeling? So it's like the feeling, the thought, the action, and then the result. But you have to go backwards. If, for example, my health, it's not the best. Okay, what did I do? Well, I'm eating pizza every day and donuts for breakfast, right? So that's the action. What was I thinking when I did that? Well, I was thinking I'm exhausted and I hate my job, right? How was I feeling? I was feeling tired. I was feeling alone, and I was feeling desperate. Okay, how can I change the feeling? Correct. You have to change the feeling. How can I feel loved and nurtured and hopeful? Right. So that's how I started to trusting. And that's how I realized that I am the creator, because I started to look around like, oh, wow, my relationship, my health, my income. I was like, In my corporate, I was paid really well, but then I started my first business and I was like, oh my gosh, like
I want
so
Yeah, I want to know about that, but let me just recap because you have said some key things here. One, when you are at a point that you are not happy with the results, with the outcome that you are looking on your outside, whether it's with your business, with your job, with your life in general, and you have that discomfort and you see people that are living that vision that you have, and you see them doing it differently, we are not telling you go and copy the exact blueprint. We are telling you go and ask yourself, what is it that I'm doing? Like, what is inside of me that it's bringing this discomfort? How I'm feeling right now is not how I want to feel. And see that other people is not feeling that way with the exact same vision that you want to have. And that's your clue to start moving. So this, in a very specific example, like Petia was saying, is like, what if I want to feel healthy and lighter, and then I'm having donuts for breakfast? It's not about gaining weight. It's about how you are feeling. The sugar is going to make you feel bad. And if you already know that, and you are deciding not to change that, then you are deciding to stay in the same place that you have been staying before. And same applies with money. So if you are already seeing that your quote unquote financial freedom, it's not what you have envisioned in the first place, but you still are avoiding to go back and look the way that you feel and continue working hard because you are going for your vision, no matter how you're feeling right now, then the outcome is gonna be pretty much the same. Different situations, maybe you will be one day here in DC like me and another day in New Zealand. Also me, I change places. It still felt exactly the same way. It's not about the places that you are. It's about those deeper layers. So I love that you mentioned that because I mean, countless time I've seen this. I've seen this with my clients. I've saw this with myself. Countless time. It doesn't matter where you go. And I think Abraham Hicks repeats this a lot. It doesn't matter if you go out of this planet, you're going to take yourself with you. So
I say that too, it's so fascinating. Like wherever you go, there you are, and it's just like you can change relationship, you can change jobs, and you take yourself with you always. And that's what happened when I left my corporate. I took myself with me, and that's why it keeps sucking.
So what happened? You started your first business and you started to, put yourself out there and create this. What happened? And when was the moment that you felt that it completely shifted for you?
I love that question, because when I left corporate, like I said, I took myself with me. So yes, I changed the environment, but I didn't change. So I still felt unworthy and undeserving. And I still had that limiting belief that you have to work hard to deserve things. Like my client just today said, like, oh, I like working hard for my money. I'm like, why? Like, what's the merit in it? I always says that the less I work, the money I make. And I'm abundantly paid to be me. That's my belief that I've created now. So I took myself with me to my first business, into social media marketing management. And I was working hard and hustling and chasing and proving myself to my clients. They didn't appreciate me. They didn't pay me abundantly. So I'm like, enough, it's enough. And then I started to work on like, why am I attracting these people? And I started to see patterns, because the thing is that the way you treat yourself, you're teaching how others will treat you. And I was treating myself poorly. I didn't think I'm deserving. I didn't think I'm worthy. I didn't have clarity and confidence in myself, in my gifts. And that's what people were seeing in me. And then I started to prioritize myself. I started my mornings differently. I said, like, I'm the queen when I wake up in the morning, and how I treat myself in the morning, the universe will treat me for the rest of the day. So I started to
Love
like
that.
having breakfast in bed and meditation and showers or baths in the morning to feel that I'm spacious and luxurious. And listen, maybe you don't have 2 hours for a morning routine like I do, right? But you can create it. I remember like few years ago when I started my podcast, I had Sarah Pendrick on my show, and she said, I don't start working like before 11 a.m. I'm like, must be nice. Because back then I was waking up at 5 a.m. and going to
Right.
CrossFit and, like working and my clients. And oh my gosh, it was just so much. But now that's what I'm doing. Like, not because I wake up at 9, 10 a.m. I wake up at 5, 6 a.m., but it's so beautiful and so spacious, and it's sacred time for me. So I started to treat myself like the loyalty, like the empress. And because I felt more confident, because I felt more clear, and I started to treat my body with respect. And I started to pay attention to everything I'm putting in and on my body. And my energy started to shift. And I started to attract different clients, and I started to learn how to say no. I learned that no, it's a full sentence. You don't have to explain yourself. Like sometimes,
Right.
no, it's enough. And we have such a hard time to say no to the things because we are afraid that nothing better will come. Like right now, I'm so selective with the clients I'm working with because my energy, it's priceless. My time, it's priceless. You know what I mean? Like when woman, there is like, so how much do you cost? I'm like, you can ask my husband, I'm priceless, but the investment to work with me is, it's different. I
Love
needed
that.
to shift how I feel about myself. And then I attracted people who can feel that and see that and pay me abundantly. And if they don't, I don't care, because I care so deeply about the people I am gifting my time and gifting my energy. That's why they easily pay me abundantly. You got to change how you see yourself. You know how Dr. Wayne Dyer, I absolutely love this quote. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Love
When
that.
you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I have to change how I feel about myself, how I see myself. If I see myself as unworthy and undeserving, how will someone pay me $1,000 per session? They won't,
Correct.
because I don't see myself as deserving. But once you do, you will start rising and you will start stepping. I call it like conversion confidence. When you start believing in yourself little by little, it starts converting higher and higher. Your vibration is higher. Your money that it's coming is higher, and it's easier. The first time that I got $24,000 check from one client was the easiest money I've ever received. Ever. It was like they offered it to me. I'm like, okay.
Nice. Thank you.
Yes. And I'm like, to the universe, I was like, thank you, more, please.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing that not many people realize, that even when you are in a space where you are like you still have this wall up, you still have these blocks of deservingness, of worthiness, and let's say with your business, there is a client that is dying to pay you 25K, you will reject it. And this is what people don't see, because it's the story, it's your money story that please do not change your money story. You're just gonna learn about your story and shift it so you can achieve what you want. You don't get rid of your stories, because that's who you are. You embrace them, and then you can let go of what is blocking them. So even if somebody comes today, you that are listening, comes to you for your business, say, you know what, I have 24K for you right now, I can assure you that the first thing that you're going to say is that, why are you going to pay me? Like, I haven't done anything.
I would be like, thank you. More, please.
Correct. That is the different mindset that shows out the work. And I hear a lot of, especially in social media, I want to manifest 10K months. But is it manifestation? The only thing, and I want you to answer this question because you are in the world where everybody gets attracted by that word, manifestation. Is it everything that we have to do? Just put it out there and say, yes, universe, I want to manifest 10K a month.
No, because then you don't believe that you're deserving. So a couple of things that really come to me, the first thing, because I also work with human design, and I'm married to manifesting generator. So I feel you, girl. I have one of you at home. He's like all over the place and doing million things at the same time. I'm generator, but I get tired just by watching him, like, oh my God, like, he's like a crazy squirrel, but I love him to life. And so first I look at the human design, because there is a specific and non-specific manifestor, right? So for example, I'm a specific manifestor. So for me, I get to sit down and I'm a visual. So I will create a vision board. I will journal. Like for me, I literally get to like see that in front of me and be specific, So I was just explaining my other client today, and I was telling her that, for example, when I'm doing projections for the next month, let's say, for example, this month, I'm traveling a lot. I'm not going to be working much. So I want to make 30K. Okay. And I will write down, I will have 2 new clients, 2 new renewals. And then I will have VIP clients coming to see me here in Las Vegas. And I will write it all down. So it amounts to 30K. And then I release it, because what happens 99% of the times, the money didn't come how I wrote it down, but I got clear on my desires. I know why I wanted 30K. Like, it's like, listen, I've been there. There is nothing wrong with it. Like, we're praying for 5K month, or we're praying for 10K months, and it will always be growing the number. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. Like if you say like, oh, it would be my dream to have 10K. Why? I'm a specific manifestor. I sit down and I said, the dream house, and this is like years ago. Now my dream house, it's 8K. Okay. So I'm gonna a little bit rise it up. But back then I'm like, okay, 10K, my dream home, it's $3,000. And I want to be traveling, and I want to invest this in my nutrition, and this in my food, and this in my coaches, and this in my personal training. So this is $9,000. And then $1,000 I will put into the savings. So I knew where the money will go. Money likes to have a direction. It's not like, I want a 10K. It's not emotionally charged. You don't see that possible. Like, okay, I want 100K. Right. Why? Right? So that's like giving the money direction, and then looking if you're specific, non-specific. If you're non-specific, you will get overwhelmed, and you will get like frustrated with like being specific and writing like, I want a 30K, or I wanted this.
Correct.
With the non-specific manifestors, you can just have a general idea and then let the universe surprise you. It's never about putting your feet up on the table, because, for example, like I believe in law of attraction, but it's more of like law of vibration. What are you vibrating out there? My belief is that my people find me. My belief is that I'm a magnetic to my people. So for example, like I don't have to work hard to get clients, but they hear me on a podcast, they find me on Instagram, but I had to get on the podcast and talk there, and I had to be on my Instagram and put it out there. So I'm not attached how it will come to me, but it's about showing up. You get to be showing up, and you get to be also aligned with your design. You as a manifesting generator, like you're meant to be like so quick and just going 100%. For it and doing what you're excited for. And like the advantage I see in manifesting generators, like you have a part of the manifestor in you. So you are meant to be responding, but also there is this energy of initiation, like when something really lights you up, you respond and you can initiate. For me, I really get to respond. For me, there is a waiting period that I get like crazy about, like I'm in a phase that there's nothing to respond to, and I get to learn to be patient, So it's like, you have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. And then you will know what kind of attraction method works for you.
Yes. And so I love that you have touched in the specific and non-specific manifestor, because I use human design on all of my coachings, because it's like a blueprint. You cannot lie to me in the ways that you do things when I see the blueprint. And if you are hearing here and have no idea what human design is, go to episode, I believe it's 31 to 36. I explain one by one there. So you can go there and listen to it. And the non-specific and specific manifestor is, oh man, I love it because that's the first date. I run a challenge every month. I'm planning to run it now. And the first day to get clear in your vision is to know that way, because I'm non-specific. I get overwhelmed with details. I don't want to think about, and I always put this example. I want my dream house and I know how I want to fill in my dream house. I have no idea how many rooms it's going to have. I have no idea where it's going to be. I have no idea. And it's going to overwhelm me if I start thinking on the details. And that's when you get out of alignment, because it's like, I literally cannot picture how my dream house is going to be, but I can
ask me. I will tell you everything. How many windows and beds and
it's crazy. And I work with clients. I actually just did one of my clients. Her dream was the house, and she knew to the point what art she was going to put on her house. To me, I know that my house needs to make me feel like I'm expensive, I'm a luxury, I have tons of sunlight coming, and regardless of the house that I am in, that is what I want to feel. And even here on this, in my small apartment that I am, because I travel a lot, my small apartment has a fuck tons of sunlight coming in, because that honors how I want to feel. So I really wanted you to answer that question, because we get trapped into all that we need is to put it out there to the universe and just say, you know what, I'm manifesting this shit out. And we do the same. People tend to do the same with their businesses. I want to manifest 10K month, or I want to manifest 8K month, but yeah, like numbers.
The embodiment portion, it's what is missing, because
right,
you can say, and it's like, I do that, like I want to have 100K months, that's where I am. That's my like desire, right? That's what I am creating. And I have to ask myself, how does the Petia who makes 100K acts like? What does she do? What is her routine? What does she wear? How does she speak? It's not the same Petia who makes 20K months. Correct. It's not the same Petia who makes 50K months, so what would a person do? How would she feels like? What would she prioritize? Like 100K a month, you're not doing everything alone. You trust others, you delegate, you hire people. You are, like being broadcasted on podcasts and shows. So I absolutely love what you're saying, because I feel like that was misleading in the book of Secret, because that's what it feels like, right?
Correct.
Just and it's a great start. My mom read that book and she was mind blown, and she read it like last year for the first time, so super inspired by her. We cannot tell our parents what to do, like they gotta figure it out themselves, right? And I feel like that's a little bit misleading, because it's like, oh, have a desire and put it out there to the universe. Well, that is the first step, clarity of your desire, the conviction of your desire. But then how you going to show up for the desire? I can say, for example, right now, what I'm manifesting is to get pregnant. Okay. Like this year, we want to get pregnant with my husband. Now imagine, I will say, universe, I want to get pregnant and I want to make love with my husband. Right. I know there's some like what is it, the Immaculate Conception? Yeah. I don't buy into that very much. No disrespect, but I don't think in 21st century that's how we do that. But that's exactly what I'm saying. Like if you say like I want to manifest 10K months, it's like me saying I want to get pregnant and don't make love with my husband. There's an inspired action that have to be taken. Like I gotta know when I'm ovulating, I gotta know like where I am, how am I feeling, how is my stress level, and all these things. And the same happens with your manifestation. You want to take a month, okay, you can be open how it comes to you. You don't have to have like detailed plan, because sorry to break it down, but plans don't work usually. Not for me anyways, like I plan everything to the detail, and then it's like universe, it's like, nope, you're not doing this, you're not going there, not with this person. I'm like, okay. So that's the part of surrender. But have the clear conviction and the desire, and then take an inspired action. Where would person who makes 10K go? What would she say? What would she look like? Would she be afraid to invest, I don't know, $10 in a tea? Would she be scrapping? Would she be tipping 5%? Like even when I was like, I had to learn this mindset. I come from very small town in Czech Republic where scarcity, it's written completely everywhere, so I had to relearn it. But the thing is that you get to start acting differently so you can attract different results.
Love that. And you know what is the best part? Is that you can start acting without the physical action. And I'm gonna leave this here because next episode we are gonna talk about this. How can you start acting without the physical action when it comes to money as a female entrepreneur? Petia, thank you so much for this. This has been mind-blowing. Please tell us all how they can reach out to you, how they can connect with you, and what you have there on the loop.
Alejandra, absolutely love today's episode. And I'm excited to listen to your next episode myself. So guys, stay tuned. This is amazing. I absolutely love what you're teaching and the way you're teaching it. Favorite way to connect, really, it's through my Instagram, Petia Kolibova. That's where we connected. That's where I love to be. In my podcast, Unapologetically Abundant, I'm all about the abundance. And what I'm creating right now, I'm creating a Bali retreat in October. And then also I'm doing VIP days and weekends. I already been in Bali and hosted retreat there, so I miss it. And we couldn't go there because it was shut down. I'm like, it's happening. So we're going in October. In the meantime, I'm hosting a VIP days and weekends for those who want to align with their purpose and abundance here in Las Vegas and also in Tulum. So whichever you prefer, both are luxurious, beautiful experiences.
Oh, love that. Thank you so much.